Republic of Finland, founded in December 6, 1917, home to many great hockey players from this great Nordic nation, this Northern European nation. When you think of this country, you think of this nation, you think of the happiest country in the world, great education system, saunas, reindeer. But one thing that this country, this great nation, has always produced is a proud people that love the sport of hockey. Since the introduction of the sport of hockey in the 1920s, many Finns perfected their skills, their talents, their styles in the game, in the sport we have come to love. You always hear the notion that hockey is Canada's game. In my personal opinion, hockey is not only Canada's game, it's Canada's gift. And like the martial art of judo, it spread all over the world. Well, in some parts of the world, from the United States to Sweden to Finland and Norway and Russia to the Baltic states to the United Kingdom and so on. Finland, known as the country of 1,000 lakes, has produced and is the home to many great Finnish hockey players who came from that country and who played in the NHL and went on to win the Stanley Cup and enjoyed long careers in the NHL and honed their craft and made a lasting impact in the NHL, AHL, or even in the junior leagues. I mean, from Temple Numminen to Ducks legend Teemu Selanne, Finland has always created and always have been striving for the best for nearly a century. I mean, coming from a guy who is one of the great hockey playing nations in the world, I can tell you that Finland can go toe to toe with Canada and the United States and Russia in the world stage of international hockey. I mean, in the Olympics, over in the Olympics, where Finland has attended, the Winter Olympics, they have won at least 4 bronze medals in 1994, 98, 2010, 2014, and at least 2 silver medals in 1988 and 2006. Now, why am I bringing this up to you is because you always think of hockey as the big 3. USA, Canada, Russia, and, well, the big 4 if you add Sweden. But we cannot forget the hockey playing nation of Finland. And Finland, as we know, has produced great players who have made moments that we remember forever. And that's the one thing about it. I mean, since they became members of the IIHF in 1928, and since they have dedicated themselves, it's part of their nature, it's part of their culture. I think of the phrase, they always use Sisu. Sisu is kind of like a term for them, a phrase that they use that meaning of strength and perseverance and overcoming any obstacles, no matter if whatever they face in the hockey. In the Olympics, in the World Hockey Championships, in the World Juniors, and You name it, any international hockey event, they face it and they overcome it. I mean, what binds them together and what brings them together is playing for the love of not only the game they love, but also of their nation. Now, many of you are familiar with Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Iceland. I mean, many of you guys are familiar with the hockey players that come out from the Kingdom of Sweden and Norway, and of course Denmark. You know, like Nicholas Lindstrom. I mean, Espen Knudsen. You name it. I can go on and on about, but we're focusing on the hockey in Finland. Now, hockey became part of the Finnish culture. I mean, it became part of the Finnish culture, and people strive through the word of Sisu, okay, which means, now, if you guys know, I have a computer right here. It means strength, perseverance, and tasks that for some may seem crazy to undertake, almost hopelessness. I mean, if you look at how they fared well since they entered into the Winter Olympics, they have always, never gave up, always never give in. They always be the best. Always be the best. At the International Ice Hockey Federation World Hockey Championships, I mean, they won at least 3 World Hockey Championships. I mean, one in 1995, in 2011, in 2019. It speaks volume to their love for the sport and also for their dedication into winning the greatest prize in international hockey. And the Olympics is, well, it's another story, but then again, don't be surprised that within a few years they will win that elusive Olympic gold. I mean, they've came close twice in '88 and 2006. So, now, I'm just going to say this out there. I'm just going to say this very clearly. How much they love the sport, it's quite simple. It's simple. I mean, there are 27,995 male hockey players playing in Finland, 5,966 female hockey players playing the sport in Finland and registered to play for sport in Finland. There is 282 indoor rinks, 62 outdoor rinks. Oh, by the way, if you want to know where I get this information, go to the IIHF website. It's there. It's right there. So, and out of all these players that I mentioned, well, out of all the players that I have literally told you about, this is also another testament and a volume to their to the sport that's been growing, that has become part of the Finnish culture for as long as, well, since their founding in 1917. And since 1917, well, since the 1920s, when hockey was introduced to the Republic of Finland, a lot of great Finnish players have went on to strive and be the best in the sport and made a lasting impact in their country and in the NHL. I mean, the list is a lot, from Ducks legend Teemu Selanne, Jari Kurri, Saku Koivu, Mikko Koivu, Jyrki Lumme, Pekka Rinne, Mikael Granlund, Eric Waugh, Kimmo Timonen, Jani Hakapa, Sami Vatanen, Nicholas Hagman, the Ruutu brothers, Jarkko and Timu, or Taimu, I apologize. All these names I mentioned, these are players that we know, because we see them playing in the NHL. We follow their careers. I mean, most of these Finnish hockey players, before they were drafted by the NHL, they've honed their craft in the Finnish Elite League, or Liga, which was founded in 1975 to replace the previous league at the time, what was it called? So it's an old amateur league before the Finnish Elite League at the time. So it was replaced by there is at SMliga. Apologize for the pronunciation, but hey, Finland, all you guys are, your language is very unique and distinctive that I'm keen to learn about it more. So the SMliga, founded in 1975, I mean, the motto they have for their league is basically Se un tota. Translation, it's for real. I'm guessing it's it's anyone in Finland can tell me about this league and their slogan and what it means to you guys. Please feel free to comment. I'm open to have a conversation. So the league being run since for nearly 30 something years has produced many great players, and again, I mentioned great players there because Finns, when they play the sport of hockey, it's they always go toe to toe. You can tell their skills is stand out from like the Russians and the Swedes and the Norwegians and the Americans and Canadians, and there's a lot of great hockey clubs that come out from the Republic of Finland. I mean, HPK, Tampere, the Lynx, Yves, JYP, Kapakupio Kuku, or Olin Karpa. I'm not going to mention many of these names. I may end up butchering most of these names. So the one team that really stood out for me is basically Helsinki Jyrkuwin. Now Helsinki Jyrkuwin used to play for Liiga, and we know of a certain player that played there. Ducks legend Teemu Selanne played for this team right here, our team, and along with Elsa Tikkanen and Jari Kurri, who were instrumental in the Edmonton Oilers Stanley Cup dynasty. I'm bringing this up to you and telling you what I see is basically one of the best and perhaps one of the greatest hockey nations. And one of the hockey nations that could go, as I mentioned before, go toe to toe with Canada and the United States, and I respect this hockey nation, and I've always appreciated players from other countries, especially from Finland, especially from the United States, that play the game, and they are an example of why hockey is more than just Canada's game; it's Canada's gift, and that's the truth. That's the honest truth. Well, it's my truth, but again, I know most of you would. When some would disagree with me, others will agree with me, but facts are facts. When Finland, who has won, like, say, 3 World Hockey Championships, who have done very well in the Women's World Hockey Championships, and earning a second, well, not a second, like a silver in 2019 in the Women's World Hockey Championships, and ranking 3rd in the IIHF women's hockey. Men's also ranked 3rd. So it tells you something. And again, it tells you something about the sport they love in a way. I mean, with all hockey and what it becomes part of their culture. As I say, it becomes part of their culture. Just like up in Canada, just like in the United States, in Russia. And many sports that have become popular, like hockey and others, usually have a prestigious trophy. And this prestigious trophy is something that is a symbolic of excellence in hockey. And one of the trophies in Finland is the Canada Bowl, or let me just pronounce it, Kanada Malja, which was donated to Finland from a Canadian community. And yes, if you look it up, there was a Canadian community of Finnish descent that have donated the trophy in 1951 to the Finnish Hockey Association, which was made out of nickel silver, which was very interesting, very interesting. I guess when you want to honor, because it's like this, we have a community of Finnish Canadians who emigrated to Canada. They want to honor the motherland, the homeland. They donated this trophy, the Canada Bowl, or the Kanada Maja. Now, the first Finnish team to win the Canada Bowl, or Canada Maja, was Tampere Jyväs, or Lynx, which is a team that shares the same arena with Tampere, which Finnish translation in, I'm guessing, Polax or Balax. It's something that I'm working on to understand the Finnish language. So, and this trophy is very prestigious, and it became in 1975 the playoff trophy for the Finnish Elite League. So many NHL players from Finland have either won this trophy or competed for this trophy. I mean, Saka Koivu has won it, and he played for the Ducks. Sami Vatanen has won it. Let's see, Tempo Numminen has also won it. Patrick Laine has recently won it, and I can go on. I can make a list. And the player that we know very well that has won this trophy and the Stanley Cup is Ducks legend Teemu Selanne. Selanne won the Canada Maja in '92, or I think it was it? If anybody wants to know what want to know, there's a computer right beside me, so I'm a very stickler for info and telling you from my personal view about the sport of hockey, but also how it has spread and bring a lot of positive joy and became part of the cultures of like other countries, and mainly Finland, mainly the United States, and so Selanne has, let's see, right over here. I will be making a video in the coming weeks dedicated to Teemu Selanne, but this video is to talk about the sport of Finland, not the sport of Finland, sport of hockey, and how it has created these great players that we know and love. And won the Canada Maja in 1992, 4 years after he was drafted by Winnipeg, the old Winnipeg, and won the Canada Maja with Yorkwood, which is now playing in the KHL. Don't ask me why. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So, also won the Stanley Cup Championship with our Ducks in 2007, of course. They have great victory. So, I tell you this because Finland is one of the countries that I followed at the World Hockey Championships, and This trophy, the Canada Major, is almost like their Stanley Cup. And for players that have either won this trophy or competed, went on to win long, successful careers, as I say. And they did. They did have long, successful careers. And as many of you know, before all of you think that Finland is this great utopia and reindeers and so on, think about one thing. Think about one thing about Finland. It's one of the best hockey nations in the world, and their people always strive to be the best in the sport of hockey. They do it too, in whether it's tennis, if it's racing or soccer. That's who they are, and that's part of their DNA. And as much as I think about it, Finnish hockey and the Finns are always a worthy adversary for Team Canada. So they are what they are. So I'll see you guys soon.